What's going on, everyone? So Rui Hachimura is having himself quite the Olympics, and you're seeing him really continue to just grow, blossom, and continue to strive. From the moment that the Lakers traded for Rui Hachimura, it was a little shaky, right? He falls out of the rotation. It's kind of like, uh-oh, did the Lakers make the wrong move? He ends up working his way back into the rotation. Credits Phil Handy. I even kind of said, Darvin Ham kind of put the challenge on me. He ends up fighting through it. Ends up back in the rotation, has an excellent playoffs, goes into the offseason, continues to work with Phil Handy. Phil Handy says, hey, you need to work with LeBron James. He goes and works with LeBron James, and then once again, you saw the strides. It's really carrying over to the Olympics. Now, Rui Hachimura had that little nonsense flagrant call. I mean, I understand it's the Paris Olympics, and I understand they want France to win as many games as possible, but come on, I mean, that was the most, at least don't make it obvious. It's like, come on, can you at least give us, at least be low key about it? Don't just make it so abundantly clear which team you're rooting for. I mean, like I said, a little tic-tac foul on Rui Hachimura, and then late in the game, down 4, they get the and 1-3 and like the ghost foul. It was silly. It was nonsense. But I had to mention that because it was with Rui Hachimura, right? So it just kind of goes to show, hey, Rui might have beaten France pretty much by himself. I mean, the dude was, he was 10 of 16 from the field with 24 points. At that point, he was like 3 of 5 from 3. He was tearing France up and probably was going to lead them to a win over France until the refs decided, like, hey, wait a minute, we're in Paris. gotta at least have France start 2-0. But so far through the Olympics, this is Rui Hachimura's stats. This is what he's averaging. He's 6th right now in the Olympics with 22 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, and he's 14th overall. Again, this is out of everybody. And then assists, he is averaging 1 assist, which he's 63rd in. But on this team, he's looked to be the primary scorer, to be the primary, offensive weapon. So makes sense. He's not really looking to pass the ball. He's looking to get to his spots, go get buckets. Right. And so this to me does kind of shine a light on something that I've talked about for, since the moment we traded for him, that I believe in the right role, and given the right opportunity, that I thought he could be a 20 to 25 point a game guy. And with his efficiency, with his ability to hit from the mid-range at an efficient clip, especially now with his improved three-point shooting, right? The guy gave you 14 points per game on 10 attempts. I think it was 9.9 attempts off the top of my head, right? So you're talking, say, 10 attempts in which he gave you 14 points. If he got 15 shots, he'd be 20 plus a night, right? So I do think in the right situation, in the right focal point, I'm not saying you has to be your primary offensive weapon, but I do think if you put him in a position to succeed and have success, he can have that success. And, he's really displaying the array with Japan. And right now, he's in the center of Laker trade rumors, right? Particularly with Jerami Grant. And it's begged the question for a lot of people, right? Like, should the Lakers even trade Rui? Right? Jerami Grant isn't worth 2 firsts, but is he even worth a first plus Rui for Grant? Right? Rui's younger. He has more room to grow, more potential. He's a better rebounder. Right? He isn't a 3. He is a 4, but even slotted out of position, he had an excellent season, particularly on the offensive side. But the reason the Lakers are even entertaining the idea of trading Rui and 1 first to go get Jerami Grant is not so much about who's better, right? Now, I've said before, I think you can make a genuine argument that Rui Hachimura is a better offensive player than Jerami Grant, right? He's more efficient. He even had like an EFG this season of like 61%, which Jerami Grant, even his best years, have not even sniffed that type. And also Rui's a better rebounder, right? Like there are things that I think you can genuinely argue that Rui is better in. But it's not so much just about, like, people are looking at Rui Hachimura in a glance and going, Rui Hachimura is, my favorite, or I believe he's better, or however you feel, whatever your justification as to why Rui hadn't done that, which, again, there is a valid argument for that stuff. But it's not about who's necessarily better. It's about the fit. Basketball isn't just a game in a nutshell to where it's just like, hey, it's just, you just put the 5 best players on the court and you win. If that was the case, Phoenix would have won last year. And they would have won by a landslide, right? I mean, they have 3 of the top, 20 guys in the league, 30 guys in the league. Like, again, it's about fit. It's about role. It's about position. And the thing is that Rui Hachimura, as long as he's on the Lakers with LeBron James, he's never going to be able to be properly slotted consistently. Now, can you at times slot him over the 4? Yes. Rui Hachimura is not a 3. Jerami Grant is. Right? Jerami Grant is better defensively than Rui Hachimura. Even when he's had his struggles the last few years and he's kind of not really played defense, he's better laterally. He's better. He's got more foot speed, right? Like, Rui is stiff. He is a 4. It's not a coincidence that every time LeBron misses a game, Rui Hachimura has his best games for the Lakers. I mean, he literally had like a career night this past season when LeBron missed. Why? Because he gets to slot into the proper roles. Rebounding goes up. He's better defensively because he's not chasing around quicker, twitchier wings. Like, he's able to really properly slot in that role. It's not about who's necessarily better. It's about Jerami Grant being a all-around player, a legit two-way wing, that he is all-around better, even with Rui on this roster. Even if you were able to go get Jerami Grant and keep Rui Hachimura, right? Like, Jerami Grant would immediately be the 3rd best player on the Lakers because of his versatility, because he's good at drawing contact, and he's more versatile on the offensive side of things. He's more versatile on the defensive side of things, right? Rui Hachimura is definitely more efficient, right? There's no question about efficiency. Rui is better, right? Again, there's an argument either way based on Rui's trajectory the last few seasons that he is, that he has, when he's on and he's cooking and his skill set, he is better at. But Grant, again, is more versatile. It's about that versatility. It's about having a legit perimeter wing that can defend multiple positions, that can slot essentially 2 through 4, or even on point guards at times defensively. You can't count on that with Rui Hachimura, right? When his offense wasn't clicking, guess what? He was non-existent. Might as well not even been on the basketball court, right? It was a concern that I highlighted all season long. Even when the Lakers were like 9-0 with that starting 5 of D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, and AD. What was one of the things, for those of you that were around, what was one of the things that I kept hitting on? I said, what happens when the offense isn't clicking? What happens when the offense isn't working, right? Now what? And the answer was, we lost, right? We're up 20. Didn't matter. As soon as the offense goes stagnant, we don't have the defensive pieces to get the stops, right? We were elite offensively, excellent offensively, right? Jerami Grant would give you that because he still shoots 40% from 3. He can still go get you, he's probably not going to give you a 20 playing alongside LeBron and AD, but go get you a 15 on any given night, just like Rui. So he's going to give you the same level of production, but he's more versatile, and he's better defensively and a real 3. And he can still slot in at the 4, right? Just like when Rui, right? When it's like LeBron doesn't play, you just slide Rui to the 4, right? Well, you can do the same thing with Jerami Grant. If LeBron doesn't play, misses a game, boom, you just slide Jerami Grant over to the 4, and now you have Jared Vanderbilt maybe at the 3, or Connect, or whoever they decide to do, right? I love Rui. I mean, I got my nickname Laker Damas because of Rui, right? I made the video, hey, we should look at Rui Hachimura because they're going to have to pay him and they don't really seem to. And then literally, like, what was it? It was like 2 hours later. I don't even think it was that long, right? Like, boom, we get the announcement, Rui Hachimura thing. And ever since then, it's been a running joke, right? I have been on Rui since before we traded for him, right? And he's a guy that I want to see succeed. And I would love if he could succeed with the Lakers. The problem is he's just not. Because LeBron at this stage of his career is best slotted at the 4. It allows him to kind of rest and coast, and, you know, he can kind of play in that scout position, and he doesn't have to really contest and do all the things that is necessary if he was to slide over to the 3. A lot of people look at LeBron and go, yeah, but, you know, he only has to worry about, you know, KD and Kawhi. It's not about the individual matchup. It's about what's required during the time in which you're out there at the 3. It's not so much about, oh, I have to stop LeBron or KD, or I have to stop Kawhi, or I have to stop, you know, whomever. It's about you have to basically protect that zone, that strong side where most of the offense is generated, where most players are, that's their strong hand on the right side, right? Like most of the actions that happen are on that side, which as a 3, you are required to monitor and move and shift and do all the things required. It's a very taxing on a player, period. That's why you usually see teams that want the younger, twitchier, quicker, lengthy type of athletes at the 3, right? Well, Rui doesn't have that foot speed. That's why he had the problem. I want Rui traded just so he can go succeed in the right place. Because I do think if he was on a team like the Brooklyn Nets and maybe even the Portland Trail Blazers, right? I do think if he gets the opportunity, he can actually be slotted in at the 4. I think this is a guy that go get you 20 a night easy on efficiency. Again, he gave you 14 a night on 10 attempts. So to think if he gets 15 shots, right? Like, you know, a lot of people talk about like, oh, if Rui got the shot attempts that Jerami Grant got, he would have had more points. And that's probably true, right? Given Rui's efficiency. Now, how much of his efficiency is also because he's slotted alongside LeBron and AD, right? If the Lakers end up trading for Jerami Grant, we'll see. Does Jerami Grant's efficiency go up? Is Jerami Grant better because he's slotted alongside LeBron and AD? Something you got to keep in mind. But even if it is, say Rui, if you got the same amount of attempts, average 30 compared to 21. It's not what it's about. It's not just about the offense. It's not just about, you know, who is more efficient on the offense. It's about the overall package and who is the better fit and slotted into the proper position, which Jerami Grant is. I want to keep Rui. I do. But if you can flip Rui into a Jerami Grant, you got to do it. It's just the better fit. It'll make the Lakers overall a better team. Now, I don't believe it makes them a bona fide contender. I don't think the Lakers are now all of a sudden a top 3 team in the league or anything like that, but it is a huge step in the right direction. That's why you have to trade Rui Hachimura, unfortunately. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you somewhere in between? Do you have, you know, mixed feelings about it? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.